Hello, happy new day. This is Tyrese Gould Jacinto from the Art of Prosperity podcast. And today is day 28 of our first virtue. Do not complain about anything. We have been practicing for 21 days how not to complain. And then for the final 7 days, which ends today, we have been analyzing how we've done for the last 3 weeks. And as we mentioned in the last podcast from my book, 2021, Unlock Your Blessings, 20 Ways to Unlock Your Blessings to Practice for 21 Days, we mentioned that complaining will ultimately become a significant part of your behavior and changes how you react to people and people react to you. And the stress that is caused by complaining will have a lasting and negative impact on your brain. And then we also mentioned that if you stop complaining, you will be happy and satisfied in a state of joy and thankfulness. If you do not complain, when you discern that you no longer need to complain, you will feel a sense of weightlessness. I just want to give a little history as to why the Native Americans, particularly Nanticoke and Lenape, use the moon for the calendar and the phases. Because it takes 27 days, 7 hours, 43 minutes for our moon to complete one full orbit around the Earth. And it takes about 29 and a half days to complete one cycle of phases, meaning from full moon to full moon. Our moon must travel a little bit farther in its path to make up for the added distance to complete the phase cycle. We are approaching the dark side of the moon. Just like the Earth, our moon rotates on its own axis and experiences daylight and dark cycles. It takes our moon the same length of time to turn once on its axis as it takes to go once completely around the Earth. This means that Earth observers always see the same side of the moon, called the near side. The side that we do not see from Earth is the far side. There are 2 super moons in 2021, one just passed in November, and the next one will happen in a few days on December 3rd or 4th, depending on your time zone. The super new moons, like any other new moon, won't be visible from Earth, but the dark night skies will provide great opportunities for some great night sky watching. This is the end of our first virtue of not complaining. And today we are joined by George and Annalyse to tell us about their experiences and reflections of how they did with not complaining. Thank you so much for taking this time. We won't make it a long one, but we just want to reflect on our 21-day journey. This is actually our 28th day, our last 7 days of reflection on how we did with not complaining this month. So I wanted to say thank you again, and I first want to say that I felt very blessed. So anybody else want to say anything at this time?
Yeah, it was hard at some points of time, but being aware of it, it really did help the quality of life, basically.
Yeah, I'm not the one who really. When I was practicing it, I really seen how other people feel, how bad they actually feel, and how it changes the environment.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's definitely something you have to be that's something you have to be aware of, because the people around you will start to look a little different to you.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lesson to try to learn to tolerate, because everybody's human. So it was a lesson in toleration also, listening to others complain, because they do change the mood a little. So, and I do talk about that in my other book, how to tolerate or get out of the room, actually. Yes, just Yeah, I did notice when I did complain that I was really aware of my complaining. I was super super aware of my complaining. So
It's almost a self-conscious feeling, like you just don't feel confident when you're complaining.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. So when I complained, I would, it was a downturn in my day, because I complained. So I had to hurry up, quickly turn it around so that, I didn't ruin my entire day. But I definitely was aware of complaining when I did complain. So I was able to reflect on those days. I can still reflect on those days that I did complain, feeling pretty bad about myself.
Yeah, and it does a lot come with the way we actually conduct our lives. Like, what do we eat? How active are we being? Are we doing our due diligence? Are we, that has a lot to do with complaining too. So sometimes you see somebody complain a lot, and you see a lot of unhealthy things going on in their lives, and it's creating their own suffering to complain about, really. Yeah, that's what I realized. Yeah.
That's a whole nother level. Yeah, it's like, you're not feeling well, you feel achy. Well, why did you eat that? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Huh. Okay. That's a good point.
I realized any type of verbalization of a complaint, or not complaint, but a problem, and people who like to complain, when you try to verbalize your situation, how you feel in that moment, it might come off what you're saying as like them, because they're always saying everything. When you're just trying to figure out in verbal words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, can you explain that a little more?
So if you're around somebody who's always complaining, and you're trying to verbalize your situation, say if you're excited and that person doesn't see that feeling as excitement, as you verbalize it, they see it like, you know what I mean? They could see
the complaint you're saying.
Yeah, they don't really see other emotions, or not any emotions, but other emotions than problems. They don't see it. You know what I mean? They don't never see the solution.
Yeah, I know that when I complained, the solutions were hidden. So there was a couple of opportunities that, I bit my tongue, realized that I could go both ways and complain, or I could just shut up and fix it. And just, being quiet and analyzing the situation, the answer came. It may not have come right away, but the answer did come, and the solution was, probably would have been a longer solution than if I were complaining.
I like that. Shut up and fix it. I like that a lot. It's just, it takes away any chance to be passive and just let it linger. Just fix it. Just fix it.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that, being quiet and waiting for the answer, I think the answer was better than I would have expected it to be. And quicker. It would come quicker.
Yeah, do nothing. A person in my life always says, do nothing.
Yeah.
Do nothing and get great results, and do nothing and get their desired results.
Yeah.
And then the other thing says do nothing. Everything is good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Solution, whatever. If you just sit there and nothing.
And it appears.
It's so simple. And I really feel like it's the pressure that causes fighting that.
Yeah.
And I think when we complain, I think we also are asking for attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes when when something goes wrong, we want everybody to know. Like, a couple of times when something went wrong, I wanted everybody to know, but I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. No one knew.
No, misery loves company.
And and then our 21 days fell on, our exact 21 days of no complaining fell on Thanksgiving. And that one was a tough one for me because a couple of days before, we couldn't celebrate indoors. And I was thinking, I was sad, and I'm like, but why am I sad? I'm still alive. I can still cook. I can still have this big dinner. And then right away, I turned the feelings around, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make a really cool table outside. I'm going to video this whole process. I'm going to have fun with this.
Right.
And it was the most joyous day. And then not having any company in the house early, I was able to video the whole process on how to make all these things. Yeah. So if I would have complained about it instead and been down and out and, on my pity pat and did something instead of do nothing, like the Tao Te Ching says, then all these other blessings wouldn't have come.
Right. And you know what? I wouldn't have been at the dinner table looking at that sentence, so everything worked out for me.
Yeah. No, I thought that was a really good idea. That was a really good idea.
But if I were to complain, those ideas would have never came.
Yeah, and then also like things like that, or, you can either complain about it or you can build a tradition from it.
Yeah. Or fix it.
Fix it, yeah.
Yeah, so I just like...
Yeah, I was telling your other thing about how not to talk about his weaknesses or tell people who he is and how weak he is.
That's what people will remember you by.
Right, that's what people will think of you as. So if you're complaining, say I'm this, I'm that, and say if you're saying you're always cold, they're gonna remember you as somebody who's always cold. You know what I mean? It's like, like who? Someone like always cold, always complaining that you're cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like feeling weak because don't speak down to just the opposite.
Yeah.
You know what I did realize in this 21 days that when I stopped verbalizing my complaints and started like basically fixing them, the time that I realized that there's a complaint or a problem, all the way to the time that it's been fixed, my face says it all. So now I probably have to work on that. Like
you're still internalizing the complaint?
Well, I mean, everybody has their natural reaction until they learn how to reprogram that, reprogram themselves a little bit to for the betterment of themselves. So, there's that time between there's a problem and there's a solution for me that I have to work on.
Well, at least you're aware. So once you're aware, it's easy to work on it.
Yeah, I looked up at the mirror and was like, who is that?
Well, it depends on what you're going through as well, because there's circumstances that are beyond our control that, or make us anxious or something. And then those things we have to work on. But sometimes we don't see the answer, which is, nerve-wracking. So, as a mom and you work full time and a wife, those things happen, and it's really hard. It's really hard to overcome it, but it just makes you stronger in the end.
Right.
Once you recognize it.
Right.
But yeah, that's not really complaining. That's just going through stress. And
yeah.
Yeah. But complaining about it probably would have been worse.
Yeah, definitely would have. I would have stayed there. I would have been stunned. I feel like I call it stunned, because when I have a complaint and I don't or didn't feel like getting a solution or didn't feel like hearing the solution. It was just a feeling of pure, like, just shock, like stunned. You know what I mean?
Stunned.
Like you just kind of feel numb.
Yeah, because you're stuck in the complaint.
Yeah, that was the worst feeling. That's the best feeling to get rid of.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. So, well, we're about to embark on our next journey. We're in the dark side of the moon right now. So, this is the time tomorrow, between tomorrow, the 3rd and the 4th, which is actually the super new moon. Now it's time to work on our next virtue, which is to remove the concept of fail. So that's going to be great. I'm going to read about that in the next podcast, so we can work on that for the next 21 days, which is going to also be amazing. That's going to be amazing. That's going to unlock a lot of blessings. You're going to feel really well, really good about removing the concept of fail.
Right.
Oh yeah, that definitely is a time.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for joining this little discussion, and I'm glad it worked, and I hope and pray that it works for others as well, and your experiences help other people. You know, this is the only way we're going to heal a nation and heal a generation, is by remembering the old virtues that we forgot, and fixing ourselves one person at a time. So, you know, your journey doing this is going to help, you know, many people as well. Anybody that gets a hold of it or listens to it, it's gonna, you know, this is the only way to heal our nation and to heal our generation, is to fix ourselves and to teach the new generation, so that they don't have to fix themselves, that they'll be one step ahead again, which is what we want for our children and our grandchildren, you know. But so do you guys have any last comments?
No, I'm excited about this new virtue. So I'll be on the lookout for it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, George and Annalyse, for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye now. Happy New Day.
Happy New Day.